with Josh Moser, Mike DePasquale, Donovan Campbell, and Drew Rosenhaus.
Hi, everybody. Welcome in. This is 7 Sports Extra. I'm your host, Josh Moser. NBA free agency set to start 6 p.m. Monday. Reports indicating that Miami is the front runner to land Raptors guard Kyle Lowry, 6-time All-Star, very close with Jimmy Butler. Most likely a big piece in the deal is Goran Dragic, the Heat picking up the Dragons' $19.4 million player option today. It's reported that Dragic, along with last year's first-round pick Precious Achiuwa, could be part of a sign-and-trade package for Lowry. The Heat tried to get Lowry at the trade deadline last season. A deal could not get done. Now it looks like Pat Riley will have a chance again. We'll keep you posted on that situation in the NFL. Dolphins completing their first week of training camp. However, COVID now present inside the locker room. Co-offensive coordinator George Godsey testing positive. Important to note, Godsey is vaccinated. Tight end Mike Gesicki, Adam Shaheen, and Keithan Carter have been added to the COVID-19 reserve list. Gesicki spoke to the media without a mask on Wednesday, indicating that he's been vaccinated. The other major camp storyline going into week 2 is the contract situation of Xavier Howard. All-Pro cornerback publicly requesting a trade Tuesday. The matter remains unresolved with the team's best defensive player. Howard has been present for every training camp practice and wants to see action from the Fins franchise and guaranteed money, or at least getting more. Remember, he led the league last year in interceptions.
Yeah, we talked, but it didn't go nowhere. It's a process, I'm hearing this and hearing that, but nothing getting done right now. So right now I'm just here, out here every day supporting the team and out here working. It's up to them, man. I'm just here. Like I say, I'm with my teammates and, I'm here every day.
Extra points.
Drew Rosenhaus joining us from the road. Welcome to football season, everybody. Drew, where are you right now?
I'm in Tennessee. I'm on a training camp tour. I'm actually on the tarmac of a plane. And we're knocking Rosenhaus Sports out on location. Our segment here.
Appreciate
Next
you always
question.
making the time.
Whatever we call it these days.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a name for it. Get it sponsored. Make some money off it.
Right.
Big question with Dolphins training camp is what's going to happen with Xavier Howard after he requested a trade. How do you envision the situation playing out, Drew?
Well, I think Xavier Howard's going to be a Dolphin. I got to put my mask on here, guys. So they're making me wear the mask here to do this interview here at
Real
the
life,
airport.
we're doing it live.
So, real life it is. I think Xavier Howard's going to be a Dolphin. I don't see him getting traded. I think they'll work something out. I think they'll come up with a compromise. It won't be exactly what the Dolphins want. It may not be exactly what Xavier Howard wants, but I think they'll come up with a solution. Maybe they'll move some money up for him or guarantee some future compensation. But he's too good a player, and I know it's a unique situation with the amount of years he has on his deal, but he deserves to get an improved contract, and I'm confident he will.
From your conversations and being out at Dolphins training camp, who's impressed the most so far early?
It's very early in camp, and so it's really hard to make any judgments. But even though he's one of my clients, allow me to say that Albert Wilson has made a good impression on everybody coming off of the option year. Yeah. I think Albert had one of the best plays of training camp so far with the 65-yard touchdown bomb from Tua. He's really looked sharp. He looks healthy, and he's got his weight right, and could be a big year for Albert Wilson.
One thing that was really interesting to me, tight end Mike Gesicki saying that this is now Tua's team. To hear Gesicki say that, what does that translate to on the field?
It means a lot. I mean, he's one of the best players on the team. For him to give that vote of support is important. It is his team, and unless the team trades for Deshaun Watson or Tua gets injured, he's going to be the Dolphins quarterback this year. And it's Tua's team, and that's why you see guys like Gesicki coming out saying it's his club, and they're rallying around him.
Appreciate you waiting there on the tarmac, walking into the airplane. Hang on for just a few more minutes. We've got to get your perspective on the rest of the NFL coming up. Thanks, Drew.
You bet.
The best right there. Time now to welcome another great one. That's our very own Donovan Campbell. Crossing the chest. He's here, everybody. Now, there's one player at camp trying to make this Dolphins 53-man roster. He only has one hand. He's already a fan favorite because he just has that big, infectious personality.
That's right. Living his absolute best life, Shaquem Griffin possesses the kind of enthusiasm and energy that is refreshing to everyone he comes in contact with.
I know he brings a lot of energy. I mean, you feel his energy within 30 seconds of being around the guy.
Far from a lock to make the Dolphins' 53-man roster, in just 1 week at training camp, Shaquem Griffin is making his presence known.
I mean, the opportunity is amazing, and I'm just glad they gave me a shot.
When talking to the local media this week, Griffin's life of the party persona was on full display.
Me being able to be here and bring the energy, bring the juice, be happy, it kind of brings a certain light to certain people. It's like having that fun energy, wanting to be here, wanting to laugh and stuff. You're not doing something right if you're not having fun.
In 2018, Griffin became the first one-handed player ever drafted and showed everyone the lack of a limb is anything but a disability.
I'm willing to do whatever. You want me to kick the ball, I will. Snap it, don't matter. If you want me to throw it and I'm not good at throwing, I'll do that too.
For Shaquem, one game on this year's schedule stands out: Jacksonville. His twin brother Shaquille plays for the Jags.
I mean, we're going back and forth. I mean, I guess it's kind of like the little rivalry me and my brother got. I mean, it started when we was kids, see who can even eat the most or who can walk the furthest.
Playing together at every level their entire lives, their potential week showdown in London will mark the first time they won't be side by side on a football field. As a result, some epic trash talking has been going on from Duval to Dade.
I told them, make sure y'all have your passports ready, because I need you to make sure you make it. I need no excuse. And I told him I might walk up while he in warm-ups and push him down.
I told him we can get a good arm wrestle on the 50-yard line. He's scared. It's okay. Everybody knows he's kind of scared. I'm the kind of the stronger one and the faster one. But don't tell nobody. But we're going to keep it going.
Now that we got the right camera, it should be fun.
Yeah.
And for the record, is it just me or does the Griffin twins look like rapper T-Pain?
I think we do. I think we need to ring up Dave Grutman here, go to Live, get him a synthesizer, and at least see what they can do.
I like that. Before I go, I just want to say happy birthday to my beautiful wife, Jessica.
There we go.
You know.
Jessica,
Yeah.
very happy birthday to you. Thanks so much, Donovan. Appreciate you. Let's keep it moving. The Canes football team beginning practice this week. It's a September 4th showdown against the reigning national champions, Alabama, to get the 2021 season started. Head coach Manny Diaz taking over for the defensive play calling this year for the Canes. Diaz also making changes to his defensive coaching staff after having a down year on that side of the ball last season.
Take a lot of pride in how we play defense at Miami. I just felt like that we took a step back in that regard, not to our standard. I think our guys have a chip on their shoulder. Now we do have, new coaches, as you mentioned. What that does is it took all of our players and took every one of those guys out of their comfort zone. We needed to be out of our comfort zone defensively at Miami because we weren't proud of how we finished last year.
For more on the Canes, we welcome Manny Navarro to the show. Manny, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For everybody watching at home, Manny covering the U's football team for The Athletic. Let's start right off the bat, Manny. What are the three biggest storylines for Canes fans to follow going into the season?
Well, obviously, number one is going to be D'Eriq King and how he rebounds from knee surgery. He told us last week in Charlotte that he felt like he was getting back to the player he was last season before the injury. So I think it's a matter of where he is with that knee. And then I'd say, secondly, it's the linebackers. We saw what North Carolina did to Miami last year with its running game. Really shredded Miami's run defense, and Manny Diaz, taking over the defense again. I think that's the third one. He's the guy who's supposed to come in and fix things on the defensive side. Miami didn't look very good at the end of the year, but I think he's picked up some guys through the transfer portal and Tyreek Stevenson, who's going to help out. And I think they're going to be better on defense.
Let's go back to D'Eriq King. Direct question, hopefully a direct answer. Does he start week 1 against Alabama?
Yes, no doubt. I think the only way he doesn't start against Alabama at this point is if he has a huge setback, if he has to go back on the injury list. He told me he really feels a lot better. He feels like himself. I think, he expects to be ready for September 4th in Atlanta.
How many wins do you think this year the Canes need to say that they've had a successful season?
Great question. I think it's more about where they finish in the division. I think this is about contending with Clemson, getting to the ACC championship game, getting past North Carolina. I don't know that it's a certain win mark. I think it's just more about getting to the point where you're competing again. Manny Diaz talked to me about that, with this opener with Alabama. They don't want to get run off the field. You look at some of their premier matchups the last 5 years against the best teams in college football. The only team they really kept it close with was the Florida Gators. So this is about showing up and looking like you belong.
Who's maybe an X factor that fans should look out for?
Great question. I think Will Mallory at the tight end position is going to be huge. He's coming back from surgery, missed the spring. He's replacing Brevin Jordan, who's one of the best tight ends, I thought, in college football the last couple of years. Miami really relies on that tight end position to help open up things on the outside. Miami's offense goes to an entirely different level if Will Mallory is one of those elite tight ends nationally.
If D'Eriq King's healthy, does this team win the Coastal Division?
I'm not picking them to win right now. I think the problem for Miami is that Mac Brown and that North Carolina offense still has Sam Howell in it and still has some pretty good offensive linemen and some players at the wide receiver position. You know, to me, I think North Carolina is still the best team in this division, and Miami has to go on the road and beat them in Chapel Hill to win the division. So right now, I think no.
How beneficial is the NIL in bringing kids to Miami given the market size?
You know, I know everybody gets excited about NIL, and I think it's great that they've got some boosters who are, like Dan Lambert, for instance, who's guaranteeing every scholarship player on the team $500 a month. I think it's fabulous. But I think the elite players in college football, the difference makers, they're still going to go to the best program. For Miami to get to that level, they've got to prove that they can recruit talented players, develop them, and then win on the field. You know, Miami's still not there yet.
Manny Navarro, everybody, thank you so much for the great information. Looking forward to having you on again and covering this team all season.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Manny. Let's talk baseball. Marlins sellers at Friday's trade deadline. No surprise, the focus shifting to next season to start August. Fish trying to avoid the sweep against the Yankees at home today. Ace Sandy Alcantara working into the late innings, gets Aaron Judge swinging to end the sixth. The career-high 10 strikeouts. Top 8, Anthony Bass in relief. The scoreless bid unraveling. Brian Anderson can't handle the grounder, all out of sorts on the throw to first. That could have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, it's the newest Yankee and Stoneman Douglas alum Anthony Rizzo providing the base knock. This lineup loaded in the middle for the Yankees. Judge putting it through the left side. They get 2 in the frame. Marlins had them through 7. However, the Fish falter late. Yankees complete the sweep. 3-1 the final.
We stayed in every game. We fought every day until the last inning. So I'm proud of the guys. So I feel like, just got to go out there like we always do, never give up, play hard, and get some wins.
Today, Marlins fans introduced to this year's first-round pick, shortstop prospect Khalil Watson. Originally from Wake Forest, North Carolina, Watson selected 16th overall, considered by many experts to be a top 5 prospect in the entire draft.
It's a dream come true, definitely. All the hard work that I've done is finally paying off, but right now I take this progress and move forward, but the job not done. But it's an honor to throw on this jersey.
The organization really excited about Watson. Time for you to get excited because we have a lot more to come tonight on 7 Sports Extra. When we return, Drew Rosenhaus rejoining us from the Jetway. Our insider tells us which quarterback situation is worse, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers or Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Plus, it's the story of a Miami-born Army specialist that's representing Team USA in Greco-Roman wrestling at the Olympics. That story and more when we return. Keep it locked.